Once upon a time, in the wide golden plains of the Serengeti, where the sun burned bright by day and the nights were filled with the cries of jackals and owls, lived a young hare named Jabari. Jabari was clever, fast, and full of curiosity, but he was also lazy. While the other animals prepared for the coming dry season, Jabari spent his days lounging under the shade of the tall acacia trees, nibbling on tender shoots and dreaming about the life he thought should come to him. He often said to himself, "Why should I run when the world will provide?" And the savannah, as it always does, was quietly preparing a lesson for him. It was the hottest season the plains had seen in years. The grass had turned brown and brittle, and the winds carried sparks from distant fires. One afternoon, Jabari noticed a thin wisp of smoke curling along the horizon. At first, he thought little of it, but as the sun sank low, the smoke grew thicker, and the smell of burning grass filled the air. The other animals panicked. Elephants trumpeted, buffaloes stamped, and birds flew screaming into the air. Jabari's first instinct was to hide. "Not my problem," he muttered. But then he noticed a small family of meerkats trapped near a line of burning brush. The mother and her young were terrified, unable to reach the safety of the burrows in time. Something stirred inside Jabari, a tiny spark of responsibility, stronger than his fear. Jabari ran as fast as his long legs could carry him. He darted between flames, kicking away burning grass, guiding the meerkats to safety. At first, it felt impossible. He was just one hare. How could he make a difference against a roaring fire? But with every small act, a shove here, a jump there, a warning squeak, he saw that even one small animal could save another. Others began noticing. Tembo, the old elephant, lifted his massive trunk and sprayed water onto the advancing fire. Saru, the lioness, helped guide frightened gazelles to safety. Even the baboons began forming a line, passing soil and leaves to cover sparks. Jabari's courage had sparked action. Hours passed. Smoke burned Jabari's eyes, and his small body shook from exhaustion. The fire had grown larger than any he had ever imagined. He wanted to give up. He thought of hiding under the nearest bush and letting the others handle it. But then he remembered the faces of the meerkat family. Their small lives depended on action, not inaction. With one final burst of energy, he darted back into the fray, kicking embers away from trapped animals, warning those too small to see the danger. Something remarkable happened. Every creature in the savannah began moving with purpose. The small acts of courage by one hare had inspired a community to act together. By nightfall, the fire had died. The plains were scorched, but the animals had survived. The elders of the savannah gathered. Elder Tembo, his tusks gleaming in the moonlight, spoke to the animals. "Today, we were reminded of a simple truth. It is not the size of the animal that matters, nor the strength of the body, but the courage to act. Do not sit idle. Even the smallest effort can change everything." Jabari, exhausted but proud, realized that day that laziness could cost lives, but courage, even from a small hare, could save them. From that day on, Jabari never lounged idly under the acacia trees. He ran, he helped, he acted. And he became known across the savannah as Jabari the Brave, the little hare who taught a whole community the power of action. Moral of the story: In life, do not sit idle. Small acts of courage and effort can inspire others and change the course of events. Waiting for life to happen will only leave you behind. Acting, no matter how small, can save the day. Thank you for watching.